And we're live.
Hey, hi, fellow old farts. How are you out there? Let's turn this sound here off. All right. Hi, Tom.
Hello, Bob. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Very good. So, what's new in Tom land? What's going on with you today?
Well, everybody's hitting me up with messages and information requests about the Avada 360, the
Well,
hot ticket item, right?
yeah.
And
Well,
and a lot of misconceptions out there about the Avada 360, and I don't think I'll be able
what?
to register it in the U.S. And
What?
and again, folks, calm down. The Avada 360. I don't care if you buy the CN version, which is the Chinese version, or the worldwide or North American version. Guess what? It's the same drone. Now, the only difference with that drone is the CN version has the 4G module in it. But don't worry, it's nothing but a paperweight everywhere
It
else.
won't work
So
here.
no, unless you activate it in China, and then it will
Ah,
only work in China. But once you activate your Chinese version, and I say that with quotation marks because it doesn't matter. If you activate your Chinese version here in the US, the 4G
uh-huh.
module is not enabled. So there's nothing illegal about it. It has remote ID, it's got FCC approvals, it operates within the the spectrum for RF, and it operates within the power limitations. So it's legal to fly. So
So,
don't sweat it.
just hypothetically, let me ask a question. If you were able to somehow enable that on a cellular network, would that mean that well, since it has about a 20-minute battery, right?
Right?
So could
Oh,
you
well,
theoretically put it
no.
about 5 miles away and take off and
Well,
fly and land?
yes. So two different questions there. First off, no,
Okay.
you cannot self enable. And number two, this type of module is not new in the US. Drones for first responders, high end enterprise drones, have cellular connectivity. Guess what? Skydio and Brink have LTE and 5G. And that's because they are authorized to operate beyond visual line of sight. So this isn't something new. It
Yeah.
just happens here's a consumer drone with the module in it, but you can't self-initiate it. It would take a major firmware update from DJI to allow it worldwide. So folks,
So if you
don't
were
stress.
visiting Hong Kong next week,
No,
no?
because no, you activated the drone elsewhere. Okay,
Uh-huh.
you activated the drone elsewhere. And remember, if you purchase the drone elsewhere, you might not have the CN version. So even traveling to the mainland China,
Yeah.
there would be nothing to activate because you don't have the module in yours. So that's all it
Yeah.
is. There's a slight weight difference between the two of them. But again, folks, don't stress about that because guess what? It's not a sub 250 drone anyway. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if there's
Yes.
an extra 40 grams. It makes no difference at this point.
I
You
have
know? So,
I have
yeah.
2 years left on my Chinese visa.
Well, okay, Bob, we're going to send you over to start importing Avada 360s. Okay?
You when you get a Chinese visa, they're for 10 years. I was there in 2018. We were in
Well, you know what,
Shanghai
Bob?
and
They have to start limiting the length of time for us old farts. Don't they do that now with Nevada driver's license?
yeah,
Okay, like
I-
if if we're over a certain age, they don't extend it now for the what is it, 8 years
no,
or 10 years in the state, and now
no, it
it's half
was
that.
8 years, and
Yeah,
now if you're a senior citizen, I think it's now 4. But and I had to send in a note from my doctor, you know.
So what news is the slow drivers will be taken off the road sooner. Okay, so
I,
it makes little to no
all
sense.
good.
Folks,
Hey,
you're
Tom,
about to
we got a
take
video to show, don't we? Yeah.
well, first, Bob, let's talk about
Oh,
it.
cool.
On today's show, we have a special
You
guest.
know,
She's the face
we
behind
sure do.
Hawaii Girl Adventures. She's a drone pilot, an off-roading enthusiast. She's an avid rock climber. Now she stays.
She is an
She shares
amazing human being, as far as
yeah,
I'm concerned. I have not, I mean, encountering her last a year and a half ago with our very first drone meetup. She kind of just showed up. I think the day or two before she signed up, and she came, and we met her, and then it's been a continuation, and. This past Vegas drone meetup, she was a coordinator taking a small group of people out to the Spring Mountain Range here, and
right.
just the most warmest,
Great people.
loving person, and her name fits her. And
Well, you know what? She really shares stunning visuals of her adventuring, and probably is making the rest of us wish we were out there with her adventuring. So, let's quickly show this video.
let's ice climbing. Rock climbing. Wow.
There we
Wow.
go.
Wow,
Okay,
wow, wow, wow,
and with
wow.
that, let's welcome
Lovena.
Lovena Harwood.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Good. Thanks for
We,
having me on the show. Hello again.
oh,
Hello, hello.
all good. We are just thrilled to, to welcome you today. I know, it's been just a wonderful year and a half of getting to know each other, and we are. I'm just totally thrilled that you've we've continued to connect here, and we're continuing to you know get to know each other better. And I got to know Ron a whole lot better this past weekend. That Ron is her husband,
And
who's
he's my VO. He's my VO.
he,
Be smarter, Lovena. Okay, you can't be compelled to testify against you in court. Okay,
That's
so
right.
it's very important. Very important. Well, Lovena,
Tom will that's
who may
Tom's
not
stop
know
line
you.
there.
Yep, that's my stock line. Lavina, for those of these that might not know you yet, okay, and I say yet, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how Hawaii Girl Adventures got started.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just videos. I was actually documenting all my hikes and all my rock climbing and my ice climbing. And this was when I was up in the East Coast and Northeast. I lived in Massachusetts. I was actually there for almost 40 years before I retired here to Las Vegas. And I learned how to rock climb and ice climb in New Hampshire, and I did all my climbing. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to put up a blog. I'm going to document all my climbs and my hikes. And then I started seeing a lot of YouTubes, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go to YouTube instead. And then I saw drones, and I'm like, okay, it's not going to stop. So
So that
this
leads
is where I
into a
am right
follow-up.
now with
Yeah,
drones.
that leads into a follow-up question. So when did drones enter the picture?
I'm a fairly new drone pilot. I believe I ordered a Mini 4K in September of 2024, and I crashed that into a tree in the Spring Mountains. I crashed that about maybe 2 weeks.
Is this a video?
Yes, but I'm not showing it. But I crashed
I
it
have
2
some of
weeks
those videos.
before the very first Las Vegas drone meetup. So I was really disappointed that I wasn't able to do any flying in the flyout on Saturday. But I had a really, really great time. And I saw a lot of value in the Las Vegas drone meetup. Then it was, let's see, that was September. I ordered the Mini 4K, and then the Vegas drone meetup was in November. I think I placed my order for the Air 3S like 2 days after the meetup was over. because I just realized that little Mini 4K was not going to be able to handle any of the breezes. I mean, the winds up in the mountains. They're
Yeah.
just,
Well, and
they
you
can,
spend a
you can
good
get a
amount
lot
of
of
time
gusts
up
up
there,
there.
don't you?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry?
You spend a good amount of time up there, don't you?
Oh, yes. I like being at elevation. It's fun. It is.
Oh, yeah. When you climb, I mean, it's not for 20 minutes. I mean, this is 2 or 3 hours or 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it can go. It depends on what route you're going, where you're going, who you're going with, how many of the climbers that you're climbing with. It
Ah,
could be, 2 hours. It could be half a day. It could be a whole day.
wow.
It could be. I mean, I've done climbs in, let's see, New Hampshire, where it's 8 hours car to car, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It really is. I think the approach, and after the climb, after you're done with the climb, you rappel, and then you hike back out to the car. That's the toughest time. The climbing is the easy part. It really is.
It seems like you're an all-season climber.
Yes, I am, because I actually didn't start right away. Right after rock climbing, right after I started rock climbing, the winter came along, and I was like, okay, so I'm really bored.
And this is in New Hampshire, where there
Right.
is some sizable winter there.
Right.
Yes.
And then one of my climbing instructors, he told me, he says, if you're bored, why don't you try winter, climbing in the wintertime? And I said, what is that? He goes, it's called ice climbing. So I got into it. And that's how I got into it. And you find people, you find your tribe, you
And
find the people that, because you really need to trust the people that you tie into the rope
I
with.
would imagine, yeah. Yeah, because
There's
if
gotta be
they
a
F
great
up,
deal of trust
you
there, right?
F up, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you literally have each other's lives in your hands, because you share a rope, and I'm tied into one end and my climbing partner is tied into the other end.
Wow.
And then you're assisting each other, belaying and
Yes.
making sure that each one. So a lot of people don't realize that, God forbid you do have a slip, that
Yeah.
you're really counting on that partner of yours to make it just a slip and not a fall, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So your belayer, the person that is on the other end of the rope, if you should slip, because sometimes you slip off the rock or the ice because it's slippery, or
It's
sometimes
ice. Yeah.
I've had the rock break out from under my foot, and I kind of not take a really big fall, but just a little
Right.
fall. And the people that are belaying me, I trust them immensely, and I know that they're going to catch my fall. So yes, I may slip, but I'm not going to hit the ground if I fall off the cliff or the ice.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's
and so there is that level of trust that really has to be gained, with those that you climb with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And
definitely.
And
you
now
usually try
that's
to
a
climb with
it,
people that also have the same education in terms of uh, skill sets. Like,
Hmm.
if my lead climber were to become, I don't know, unconscious or slip and they fall and they bang their head and they're unconscious, I have to know what to do
You
in
got
order,
to
right,
become the
in
lead
right.
person.
order.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
So
I see it as a real I mean that takes a lot of commitment
Yes,
as far as that level of trust that you have to have in each other. And I would imagine there's a great sense of community within that rock climbing group as well,
absolutely.
correct?
oh
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So let me ask you. You became a drone pilot. Were drones a welcome thing in the rock climbing world, or were they a distraction?
No, first of all, they don't belong. Drones aren't supposed to be in the wilderness areas. And we have some places right here in Red Rock Canyon that are in the wilderness areas, and a lot of rock climbing routes are located in the wilderness. So they don't belong there at all, any place in the wilderness. But there
Yes,
are a lot of climbers in the climbing community that do not favor drones at all. I,
I
I, I
I,
don't know why.
I
I
didn't
found
know
that
it was
out
a
personally.
positive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really don't know why. I mean, it doesn't bother me as long as it doesn't
Right.
hit me. I don't care.
Right. Right. Well, I think that's part of it, right? It's invading a
they're in
personal
a
space.
space.
And
Right,
when you're rock climbing, that personal space needs to be extended. Now, we were at Red Rock Canyon, and I was filming climbers, and in from one of the parking lot locations. So we weren't in a wildlife area, but
right.
there was another climber who was just getting their gear out of a car, and he started yelling at me right away. And I said to him, I said, "What seems to be the problem?" Well, you're distracting them, and this and that, and I happened to be flying the Mavic 4 Pro. And I said to him, if you'd like to see the shot I got, and of course it was a real close up, and he said, "See, you're too close." And then I pointed way behind me, nowhere near it, because I was shooting with the 6-power optical zoom.
Right.
Okay. Then he calmed down. I said, "Look, I completely understand. I don't want to distract anybody or be the cause of somebody slipping." Right.
No.
So, as drone pilots, I guess that's a great lesson learned is make sure you're being respectful of their space.
Right,
Okay. And try to interact also with them so that they know that you're a responsible flyer and you're going to make sure there's a minimum a minimal amount of standoff, I would say, right? Does that make sense?
right. Well, that's why some of my videos of rock climbers are of my friends, because I always ask them, is it okay if I bring a drone along, or if I'm not climbing with them, I ask them anyway, do I have your permission to film you with my drone and use your images in my videos? And a lot of times they
Yeah.
let me.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's
So
being courteous, but I was
yeah.
the reason I asked is because I thought I had there was some controversy in that I've flown at Lime Kiln Canyon. Are you familiar? Right outside of Bunkerville, and it's a very popular climber, uh, solid rock face. They call it Little Grand Canyon, but
Is it
a
is
climber place.
is it here in Nevada? Is it
Yes. Well, no, it's technically you go from Bunkerville, Nevada, on a dirt road, but you're actually in Arizona.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. It
I
technically it's right over the border is where that is. Yeah.
So I imagine when you're rock climbing, there's a lot of preparation to do, right? I mean, you got to get your gear together, you got to inspect your gear, You got to know where you're going to climb to. I bet you do a ton of research in that regard. Does
Yeah.
any of this translate over into your drone adventures? I mean, how do you plan when you go out to film?
Well, it depends on where I go. I normally fly my drone in Red Rock Canyon or the Spring Mountains. I like I prefer the Spring Mountains because it's at elevation. And I usually bring my drone along on my hikes. Sometimes I hike with my husband, who's my visual observer. Sometimes I solo hike because I love to solo hike, but I always follow the rules. I have found out from the ranger as to where I'm not allowed to fly. And by the list of don'ts, it's actually easier to hike in with your drone. Well, I find it easier anyway. It's actually easier to hike in with my drone and then go off trail like I'm supposed to. You're supposed to go off trail and launch and fly my drone from there. So,
And now,
yes, I do
so-
a lot of research. One of the things that I really like about flying my drone there, and I don't really make this too public, is that I can see a lot of places that have potential to be climbed. So,
right. Oh, so you're able to recon these locations
yes,
using
yes.
the drone. Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's great. So, you mentioned you love to be at altitude, and some people in the chat might not understand that. People think that, we're at sea level here, and we're not. Las Vegas is 2,200 feet above sea level to begin with. And where you're going, Lovena, is into the Spring Mountains and Mount Charleston. And Mount Charleston stands almost 12,000 feet tall. So that's got to introduce some unique issues when flying drones, right? I mean,
Right.
just, for public safety, I know the higher you go, man, that wind-driven situations can be very impactful.
Right. I only hike, the highest I hike with my drone is about, I think the highest, it was like 9,200 feet. And it was along the South Loop Trail, because even at 9,200 feet, I'm not within the wilderness area. Now, if you go on the North Loop Trail, you're within the wilderness area, like at 8,200 feet. And so when I fly up there, I also have to be aware of where the boundaries for the wilderness areas are, because I don't want to fly in those areas.
So you got to research that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's important. Whenever we go out to fly, it's really important. We're a lot of us are used to Lance authorization, right? But now we're talking about something completely different here. We're talking about understanding that there are, and around us, I mean, in Nevada, we got a ton of no-goes, right? We have a lot of military operation areas that you got to be really careful, because an F-16 could be close to Mach coming at you at 200 feet. So that can be daunting. But the wilderness areas, and plus we have Lake Mead, right? And we would all love to fly out at Lake Mead.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
It's a national recreation area, and we can't fly there.
Correct.
So I'm gonna use a Greg term, and this is not gender based, please, but don't be that guy. And it's more likely it's a dumb guy than a dumb gal. Okay. Don't be that guy who just thinks, well, nobody's looking, let me go fly here. Okay. Because we encounter, and Lovena, you do too, you encounter BLM, Bureau of Land Management ranges, besides national park ranges. And we have a good relationship with one of those ranges, and he's been very informative with us and helping us to make sure that we fly responsibly in the area.
Right. I haven't really told anybody this, but I'm on one of the Vegas hiking groups, Facebook groups, and I have found a lot of hikers will just launch a drone because they have a small one, they think they can launch it. Like I've seen it launch in wilderness areas in Red Rock
Right.
Canyon. They actually post their footage. Wilderness area of La Madre Mountains, Lake Mead along the railroad track
The
trail
railroad, yeah. I've
and
Yeah.
done the
a
railroad.
lot of places, mainly in places they're not supposed to. So I always send, I always post, and I always, let them know that they're not supposed to, this is such and such wilderness area, and you're not supposed to be there. Please contact me if you want any help. If you need any help, I'd be willing to help you if they want to contact me privately.
Yeah.
And I do have some that do, but most times they will take the footage down because they're not supposed to be. It's an illegal flight, really.
Right.
Right.
I've had
right.
people
And-
ask me, "Oh, should I take the footage down?" And I said, "Well, it is an illegal flight, so
And,
that's up to
we,
you if you want to leave it up or leave it down." But
right.
most
We
times
don't
they take it down.
necessarily want to be our brother or sister's keeper,
Right.
but we rather prefer, as I've said this to you before, Lovena, we'd
Yeah,
rather be
being
their
a-
mentor.
Right.
Positive force in
Yeah.
keeping this safe for everyone. So,
Right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell them, hey, I'm going to go report you to the FAA, because I wouldn't do that. That's not something I would do.
No,
but
but providing that
speaking of
guidance, yeah.
that, I have a video queued up here, Lovena, that you posted today.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You want to give us a little preview of this before I start running it? It's only a few minutes long, not even.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's a minute and a
the
half long or
hyperlapse.
something.
It's the hyperlapse, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that I was standing in the Charlie Frias Park. When I
Okay.
took, and
That's-
yes, I got Lance approval. I actually signed up for it last night, and
Yep.
knowing that there was a presidential TFR for tomorrow and Sunday. So I
Right.
wanted to get that in right away.
This was before the TFR.
Yes, I signed. Yes, this is today. The TFR is for tomorrow, the 16th and the 17th. And
Yes.
I did get approval for only 100 feet.
100 feet.
Yes, maximum 100 feet. So I know there's some listeners.
I know there was a lot of people trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out, where is she? Where is she doing this from? Okay, you ready? Here we go.
Play it. And as you can see, those planes are, wow. It looks like everything's on schedule at Reed International Airport.
Reed
okay?
International Airport is doing just fine.
Folks, that's a hyperlapse. So flights aren't always on time at Reed International Airport. Okay, I want to build some reality into things there. Hey, hyperlapses are a blast, right? I mean, it takes a lot of planning to put a hyperlapse together that it actually shows something. And you talk about people wondering where you take off from. I don't know.
Yes.
I get those questions a lot too. When I throw up a video, somebody's always DMing me and going, "Hey, give me the coordinates for that location.
Give me the longitude and latitude where you are."
And what do you think this is? Ray Kelly's secret spot? No. I mean,
no, but
come on now.
Seriously, that park is really. You've usually have always been able to get 100 feet at that park, and especially at night, that is a great place to get a really good Las Vegas panorama shot. That is.
I did get a panel. I did get actually several panoramic photos. But it was wonderful to be there, and we saw the Goodyear blimp too. The Goodyear blimp is flying around the
That's
area.
hovering
Yep.
around us right now. Yep,
Yes.
that's in town. A Goodyear blimp.
Yes.
Okay.
You know where
And,
that takes
of
off?
course, the drone
Yeah,
pilot.
I've seen it. I've seen it where it takes off. I've watched it take off.
Me and Gene, down by Gene there. Yeah. Yeah.
No, north.
So
I believe it's north Las Vegas.
North
It
Las
took
Vegas
off today.
Airport. I watched
it
it
took
take
off
off
from North Las
Gene.
Vegas Airport.
Yeah. Ah.
So let me just tell our drone pilots in the Las Vegas Valley, the Goodyear blimp qualifies as manned aviation. Okay, folks. So
Yeah. No
it's not
buzzing.
just a big balloon. You can't buzz it. You got to stay away from it. You got to give it a wide berth. Okay, even though that
Yes.
it doesn't move that quickly, it will surprise you. Now, Lovena, I want to just segue into what is the motivation that keeps you going out there to fly?
Yeah.
That's a really good question, Tom. Oh, you should have told me you were going to ask me this question.
Oh, no. Look.
No, then you
The hot
It's
seat.
like, dude,
It's not called a hot
don't
seat
know.
for,
It's like,
it's got a reason there.
well, first of all, I really love flying the drone. I do. I don't
It's
know. I
friendly.
love flying the drone. And then I get to spend time with my husband because he's my visual observer. And then I get to see a lot of things that I don't normally see from the ground.
Yes.
So it's very fascinating. Like I said, in the Spring Mountains, I have flown. I have seen places. I have seen cliffs that I didn't even know they were there. And I'm like, oh, I see that on my film, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can climb there. I wonder if we can make that into a climbing area.
Yeah.
That's good motivation
so
right
it's
there.
Mainly, that's a good question. What keeps me going is that I love flying my drone. I love the outcome. I like to see what's on the footage. I like pretty pictures. I don't do this for a living, even though I have a Part 107. I fly recreationally, but I sort of treat my flights like commercial. You know, I'm very serious about regulation, about keeping my VO and I safe.
Yeah.
And also, I think the most enjoyable part about flying a drone is also flying with my new friends. I've made a lot of women drone pilot friends.
That was my next question. Tell us about these women drone flyer trips. This is wonderful. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I get, I made new friends, and I also have off-roading because some of us in off-roading are also drone pilots. Deb, for instance, and we're also getting 3 women have drones that are off-roaders. And so
that's a great opportunity when you're off-roading, right? I mean, another way you can recon is to look at the trail ahead of you, okay, and document that. But I want to say something. It's something I've said to you, Lovena. I'm the father of a daughter and the grandfather of granddaughters, so it's really important to me that women start to understand that there is no barrier here in droning, right? I mean,
exactly.
There's nothing to keep us from growing that diversity here and expanding the community. Tell me your thoughts on that.
Well, I'm all for it, which is why I actually put up a monthly meetup for women drone flyers, because I wanted more women to fly drones with, and I wanted to also share the areas that I flew at too, and because a lot of them never flew a drone in the Spring Mountains. And I said, it's really not that hard. You don't have to hike unless you want to hike. If you want to rock climb, I'll take you rock climbing. But if you don't want to do all that, we can just pull off to the side of the road. There's many, many pullouts along the scenic route in the Spring Mountains where we can safely and legally launch a drone from.
And you helped us with last year in the Vegas drone meetup. by leading a group on Adventure Day up there to make sure that they were first adhering to the guidelines, but you had some
Right.
great spots that they flew from.
Right.
Now, you know, these women that you're bringing out, I would imagine, you know, I've always said that whenever, you know, you're starting out droning, that it's very intimidating. You know, there's a lack of confidence there, but flying with others builds that confidence. And I would imagine, you know, especially women first getting into this, maybe it's not the band of guys you want to be flying with, because, you know, you don't want to be mansplained about every little thing. I would imagine it's a huge confidence build, especially for the new women joining you, to be surrounded by women droners.
Right. Right. It's, you know, I let them fly whatever they want. We meet, you know, we have an area that we meet at, we meet each other, go out to fly. And I said, you know, just bring whatever you want to fly. In fact, if you have 3 drones, bring it all.
Right.
Oh, you know what?
Right.
I actually have another one that I had
Yeah.
ChatGPT make with the black hats that Deb put out with this one right here.
With the
They're all
lady
wearing,
droner hats. Yeah.
yeah, they're
You,
all
you
wearing.
see at the bottom of your screen,
Yeah.
like there's like a little screen at the bottom of your screen that has a plus sign in it. Okay, that's where you would click. Yes.
If
If
you
you
want to
see
share
at the
an
bottom
image,
of your
or
screen,
you
if
can
you want
send
to
it
share
us and
that
we'll put it up.
image, I think you sent to me that image, didn't you?
Well, you know what? We
Yeah,
don't
you
want to
sent
go
me.
too far in depth, because this would be the AI Chat GPT 12-step meeting then. Okay. So, you know, we already have Bob. Bob, let's do it. Hi, my name's Tom, and I'm addicted to Chat GPT. And you know,
Yes.
Bob's
I'm not
completely out of
addicted.
control.
I'm not addicted.
Okay. Completely
No,
out of
you know,
control.
I've been an Adobe subscriber since the inception of Adobe, and and they have taken, you know, AI to another extreme inside of every program. There's AI now in InDesign. There's AI in, of course, in Photoshop. You know, that if I took a tutorial every day for the next year, I still wouldn't be able to learn everything that Photoshop does.
Well,
You know,
Bob started the first version that Bob started with Adobe was the Stone Tablet version. Okay. So Bob's been doing
no,
that for a long time. Okay?
Illustrator 1, and
Well,
then
yeah, I want to ask you, Lovena, because it really becomes a responsibility of all of us. We want the community to become more diverse and inclusive. So how do we help?
yeah.
See, she's going to call me later and go, Tom, I'm going to sit you down and kill you because you're
I am not.
asking me
That's another
questions.
good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I really am not sure.
Well, you
I
already
think your
started
support right
because,
now. I think your
yeah,
support right now is very good. I think what you told me what we're looking forward to for the upcoming drone meetup in November is really good. I think it's fantastic. I'm not going to
and we
say what
kind
we
of,
have. I don't want to spill
so
it
those
yet.
of you that don't know, we kind of suck it. I mean, we nominated Lovena to our committee, our board. Okay. We've grown. We've actually, you know what, Lovena, in very short order, we added several women to the board.
Yes.
Okay. And we actually, I think we're at even odds at this point. You
Yeah.
know, you have my wife Roz, you have Bob's wife Audrey, you have Deb, who's been you know, with us since last year. You just joined us. Cindy Lou just
Uh-huh.
joined us. Okay.
Yeah.
We have Callie and Isaiah are going to be on hiatus this year because they're
Mhm.
trying to spin too many plates. You know, they moved
Young
into a new
couple
house.
just
They
bought a
got a
house, and
Sedona spot, and they're having a baby in August. So,
Oh, wow.
you
Oh,
know,
oh. They
so
got their plate full. Yeah, for sure.
oh my goodness, they sure do. But you know, we are so grateful
Yep.
and so happy and looking forward to all the great things that we can do. You know, and plus one of the workshops that we're going to platform this year will involve women in droning.
right.
And you know, so we really want to open this up and give everyone that wants to participate, okay? And yes, I can't forget, okay, Drone Diva Desi. In
Yeah.
fact, she just did an interview with me that came out today, so definitely check out her channel. Desi is a great inspiration, and as a result, I'm going to do a little ad here.
I
Okay,
have that book. I have that book.
Desi,
I
yeah,
haven't had time to read it yet, but I have that book too. Yeah.
it is a fun read, and it contains, for those of you that don't know, Desi Eckstein put out a book called Desert Escape: On Road, Off Grid, in the Air, and it's about her adventures going out there with her husband Ken and documenting these areas and really documenting history to a great deal. And in this
Mhm.
book, she talks about her adventures, but then she puts guides in there about off-roading. She put
Hmm.
guides in there about research, and she puts guides in there about droning at those locations. So, so
It's
that's
wonderful.
that's
I took it
definitely
with me to
something you want to
California
pile up.
last weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, some of my videos are a result of hanging out with Desi, Ken, and we were fortunate recently to hang out with Keith, Deb, Desi, and Ken down in Arizona, and they took us off roading, and we got exposed to a lot of great spots. And I actually made a couple of videos just on the geoglyphs we were introduced to out there, the carvings in the desert. So you know,
Yeah.
we really have a great bunch of people, but we're not letting you off the hot seat yet, okay? Because we have
We have more
fun
questions.
we have a fun segment, maybe more fun for us than you, okay? But we have a fun segment, and it's called the
Okay.
rapid fire, okay?
All right. You
So,
ready?
so we're
Yeah.
ready to put you on the spot, okay?
Yeah. Go.
Sunrise or sunset,
Sunrise.
desert or
Desert or
mountains?
mountains?
I can't hear you. What was that?
Go ahead,
Desert
Bob.
or mountains?
Mountain.
FPV or cinematic?
I have to say cinematic because I don't have my FPV drone yet. My 360 is hopefully coming soon. So for now, cinematic.
Uh-huh. You ordered a
Bob?
360?
Yeah, Avado 360. I pre-ordered it from B&H
Yeah.
Photo.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, good.
Uh,
And go ahead, Tom.
favorite local food?
Hawaii, Hawaiian food, Hawaii local food.
Where?
Give me a location. Come on, come on.
Oh,
Sell somebody's
Zippies.
restaurant.
Zippies.
Zippies. Okay.
Zippies?
We got one right by us.
L&L, Zippies. There's Aloha Barbecue here. Have you tried them all?
Yep.
So folks, I'm going to give you one more. Those of you that are on the fence about thinking about coming out to the Vegas Drone Meetup, she just told you one of the best spots for Hawaiian comfort food is Zippies. Now, I got
Yes.
one more for you. What is a one must-see spot in and around Las Vegas?
Oh, you mean the Strip or?
No, I mean anywhere in the.
No, anywhere in the valley.
What do you want to make sure if somebody's coming out to Vegas for our drone meetup, what's one
And
thing
it's
they
their
shouldn't
first
miss
time
while
they've
they're
ever been here,
here?
and they
Oh.
may never come back again.
The
What
Spring
do you
Mountains.
want to show them?
The Spring Mountains.
The Spring
Yeah,
Mountains.
the Spring Mountains. I tell people when I take them, when I take the women on up to the Spring Mountains, I said, you know, sometimes you'll drive up to these pullouts before you even launch your drone. You'll look out over you know, whatever, and maybe you might be underwhelmed, but I can guarantee that once your drone is airborne and you get the footage from the air, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, that's a
And
great point.
again, we're at elevation
Yeah.
too. We're at a
Yeah,
lot of
elevation.
times, I think 8,200 feet is the highest part of the road that we would be at elevation.
Yeah.
So,
And you know, that's a great thing, because people come out here and you miss a lot, right? By getting stuck on the strip.
yeah.
Okay. And
Oh.
that's why when visitors come out here,
Yes.
friends and family, you know, it's a destination spot. So that's great for us, because we got friends and family always coming out. And you know, we offer them the guest room, and they're like, no, I'm staying at Caesar's, I'm staying at the Venetian. And all we ask is, hey, what day can we kidnap you off the strip? Right? Because when we show people the rest of this valley, they're blown away. They don't.
And
they
when
don't-
it's
they don't realize any of this exists.
110, when it's 110 in Las Vegas at the Spring Mountains, it's probably 78, 79 degrees,
Yeah.
and just beautiful.
Yeah. The higher
Well,
you hike
great.
up to, the cooler it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. I had a friend come out here in September, and he's staying at the Virgin Hotel. And I said, hey, I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And he got in the car, and it was 106 degrees. And he gets in the car, and I said, Eddie, do you have a jacket or a sweater? And he turned to me and he goes, wow, you've been baking in the sun too long that you think at 106 degrees. Well, we went up to Lee Canyon, and it was 64 degrees.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
nice.
he asked, did I
Nice.
have a spare sweater or jacket? So, you know, but
Yeah.
so tell me, what, you know, we want to be respectful of your time.
Yeah.
What's next for Hawaii Girl Adventures?
I am waiting for that Avata 360 drone. Yes, sir.
Yep.
I pre-ordered it from B&H Photo in New York, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's a DJI drone, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So,
Well, we know how that feeling is, believe me. You know, we all know that incredible feeling that, you know, I need to get this drone in my hand. But, you know, what do you think is going to be? Are you going to buy goggles and try goggles?
I bought the whole package, the combo package. I have the RC, you know, the remote controller for my Air 3S. It'll work with that. But I bought the package that includes the goggles and what is that hand? What is that?
Motion controller.
Right. And 3 batteries and the charger.
Perfect. Now, the first time you've never flown with the motion controller before, right?
I tried. One of my friends, one of the women at the meetup, the monthly meetup, she let me try her Avata 2. And I think I was very hesitant because it wasn't my drone and I was afraid I was going to crash it. So I was like, you know what? That's okay. I won't fly it too long. And I didn't. I flew it maybe for 30 seconds or tried to. And I just handed it back to her because I just didn't want to take the chance. I might crash it.
No, I understand.
I took Bob out. I had to, you know, we did a little training session, right, Bob? And I had Bob sit in a lawn chair and basically strapped his arm to the armrest.
That's what you need. The whole thing has got to be in your wrist.
The big problem with the motion controller is people are trying to do this with the motion controller, and it's all in the wrist. So if you can make sure just, even if you have to use your own hand, just stop it, your whole forearm from moving, and everything
Yeah.
happens.
No,
And boy, oh boy, once you get it, it's a dream.
it's a
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
fun.
You're going to have a
Okay,
blast with
so
that.
I have a Hover Air X1 Pro Max.
Yeah.
And
saw
I
it.
can fly it with like a joystick. And
Yeah.
I couldn't make it work. We were out at Red Rock, Calico Basin with the women.
Uh-huh.
I was doing this with my hand, right? And I'm like, why is this
Yep.
not working? And finally, when I just
I don't
did
know.
this, just little forward, little
Is she
back,
cutting out on you?
left, right, it was fine.
Right. Yeah. You know what? That's exactly right. Now, let me tell you. Now, if you're going to fly an anti-gravity A1 drone, then you have to do this.
Oh,
Okay. But if
Yeah.
you're flying the Avata 2, or the Avata 360, it's just finesse.
all on the wrist.
And
Okay.
believe me, once it clicks, you're going to have so much fun. People put it down, put that motion controller down. They're disparaging about it because they haven't taken the time to learn how to
Right.
fly with it. And
Right.
once you fly, I just say the same thing. Do fighter pilots fly like this? No, they fly like this. Okay. So, that's when it really becomes immersive. But the thing
Yeah.
you're going to learn about the Avata 360 is it's not an Avata 2. It is not. It's not the same drone. Why they call it an Avata is that's on them, okay, as far as the build platform, but it flies differently, okay? And it's not a real FPV. You want to go into freestyle with it just to capture stuff. But the other thing is,
No.
if you're going to, and this is a recommendation for anybody in the US, because you might have gone up to go look for DJI Studio or to look for the PDF manual, the full manual, and you go up to DJI.com and it's not there. Well, when you go up to DJI.com, go up in the upper right-hand corner and select Canada instead of the US. Then on the DJI Avata 360, select downloads, okay? And now you'll see DJI Studio, you'll see the manual, and also update your version, okay, of what's it called, Bob? The DJI
Fly app.
No, not DJI
The
Fly.
firmware update.
It's DJI Assistant 2. Make sure
Assistant
you
2.
update. Yeah, make sure you update your version of Assistant 2.
Firmware.
Okay. Because the latest version has recently come out. Also, if you have the DJI RC Pro 2, update your firmware because the DJI RC Pro 2 is compatible
Right.
with the DJI Avata 360.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
you're going to have so much fun with that drone.
I can't wait.
Or we are going to have so much fun with that drone. Okay.
Yes.
We'll
We gotta
definitely
get together. We gotta get together
Yeah.
and have an Avata fly out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well,
Then we're going to hear you all commiserate about how much work you got to do in post. Okay?
yeah, to edit this,
Well,
it's in a whole other
well,
ball
I
game.
love editing, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll see how it is, but I have always loved video
Yep.
editing. I don't know why.
So
I
you're going to have
enjoy
a
it a lot.
blast.
Good.
You are going to have a blast,
Yeah.
especially like
A lot of
you
different
both
angles
went
to
out.
take.
Oh, so I mean, how many different angles? Every angle you can possibly think of.
Oh my
And
God. Ooh,
Imagine,
Yeah.
Lovena, if you had that drone when you went out there to cover the land sailing. Okay.
Yeah. My
'Cause I
only
just look at-
problem. Okay, so I totally get it, but my only problem is how much wind can that Avata 360 handle? Because my Air 3S, I mean, that wind was blowing. If you look at the video, the land sailing video, and the flags were like crazy blowing, right?
Yep.
And my Air 3S didn't even flinch in the
Same
wind.
thing with my
Literally.
Mavic 4. It did
Yeah.
not flinch.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Well,
it's the
again, we'll
Avatas.
have to try
I
it on.
question the Avatas.
We'll have to try it on and see, right?
Right.
And the first day we went out to Ivanpah for the land sailing, there was no wind.
Yeah.
So we flew around and people came up to us and it was great. And we handed out, our YouTube card. The second day we went, because we woke up in the morning and my flag outside was basically horizontal.
Yeah.
And Roz and I jumped in the truck and out we went. And you know what? Again, like you said, the Air 3S, the Mavic 4, the Mavic 3 Pros, they handled that with no problem.
yeah.
We're just going to have to try it on for size and see what happens, right?
Yeah, it's like the Neo 2, for as tiny as that is, I am fascinated with how well it can handle the wind. The wind might be 20 miles an hour, and that little thing is flying completely sideways, trying to maintain, but the video looks clean
gimbals
as
like
a
that.
whistle.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. It is funny, So, do you have anything else you want to promote while you're on?
No, not really.
Well, you're supposed to promote
Hawaii
the
Girl
Vegas Drone
Adventures.
That was your intro to promote the Vegas Drone Meetup.
Oh,
She only has. If you're in the chat, she needs some more followers. So she's at about 600 followers on YouTube right now. So let's see what we can do to move her over there. Okay. And let's see what we can do to, get her up into the 1,000 range here.
Well,
I know it's going to take
yes,
a few hundred people, but I know we can do it.
I do want to
Go ahead,
promote the
Lovena.
meetup coming up, and I'm hoping to be able to take more women up to the Spring Mountains on the Sunday, on the fly out day, on the Sunday. That would be great if there are any women in the chat, or you have or anybody in the chat that has women friends that are into drones and they're interested in attending the drone meetup.
Yeah.
Please, sign up for it. And I would love to take women up on Sunday and get to experience flying their drone in the Spring Mountains. It is amazing. They're gonna come away with footage like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, it is amazing. And you know what? This year we're going to do something a little different than last year, right? Last year we introduced workshops. We charged the nominal $25 per workshop. Well, guess what, folks? This year we're going to provide the registrants with free workshops. So we're kind of stepping into that spin-up realm, okay? And we're going to have a full day of education on Friday, and when you register for and go ahead and go up to our website vegasdronemeetup.com, and you can put in your information, your contact information, so when the website goes live, okay, you'll get a notice right away, because there'll be free workshops. We're going to have to cap the capacity at some point. So we don't want you to miss out. So make sure you go up, you drop your information into the website. Don't worry. We will not be selling that to anybody. Okay.
Tom, tell them how many workshops.
Well, you know what? We're going to get very ambitious this year. We're going to make them 40-minute workshops. We're going to try to do 8 in the morning between 10 a.m. and noon. For those that have attended the workshop, we provide a pizza lunch, okay, for the workshop attendees. And then in the afternoon, between 1 and 3, we're hoping for another 8 workshops.
Sessions.
So we're gonna mix it up, and there should be plenty to go around. Last year, Bob, right? We trained 6 Henderson police officers. We got them
Yep.
into an intro course. Pilot Institute is on board with us. Also, Aero AI, one of our board members, Victory, is heavily involved in the committee, and he is really a mapping and photogrammetry guru.
Yeah.
So one of the things, like you said, you get a bunch of women to go out on your adventure day. Well, some of the workshops will have a partnered adventure day to go out. So if you're doing like the mapping and photogrammetry, even though they're only like 40-minute, they're intros. But then on that Sunday, Victory will be taking people to a location to put some of those things that he introduced into practical play. So we're really looking to give you nothing but value this year, more than we gave you last year. Okay. And those of you that attended, all you said to us was, wow, we got a ton of value. Well, you better come equipped and better do your exercises, because we're going to give you 2 tons of value this year. Okay.
It's going to be spectacular. That's for sure. Tom, I also want to make mention here before we end, which we're getting close to wrapping up here, but we have another event going on this year in September, and this is going to be spectacular. I know that you and Roz had to bow out, but I know that this is going to be something that, if there anybody watching out there that, might be thinking, I'm missing all these fun get-togethers here, but we are doing a fall foliage drone cruise from Brooklyn, New York to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then it's technically it's sold out, but the cruise line is still giving us a few extra rooms that they don't have sold out yet, and letting us attach them to our group. And so I just wanted, we just had a couple new people just recently signed up, one of which is a lot of the people that are regulars watching my show. You've seen Louisa Winters or Louisa Casanova. She's a trainer for Adobe. She will be here working for Adobe in Las Vegas this next week here at the National Broadcasters Show, but they have her doing seminars for Adobe at that show, and so she is coming with us on the cruise here. So I mean, if you want to, get to know some Adobe stuff, I mean, we have the perfect person to ask, but we're all going to have a great time. So anyway, I wanted to get that in before we signed off here.
If you can, all right, that's going to be a fantastic trip. Well, let's remind everybody, let's please visit Hawaii Girl Adventures up on YouTube.
Please.
I see just from the chat, you already gained a couple of people.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Here's her AI picture that Lovena is sharing right there. Look at that. All the girls got the Lady Droner hats on.
Yep.
That was Deb's. That's Deb's thing right there. The lady droners. She started the lady droners.
Yep.
Deb Andrews.
We've got quite an organization working here in Las Vegas of women droners.
We should do.
Really wonderful. And so if you're out there, bring your wife, bring your friends. I mean, this is this drone.
Bring your daughters. Bring. Come on. This is. Bring your sons, bring your daughters, get these kids involved also. Yeah. Right. Ray Kelly, a good friend of ours, drones instead of drugs.
Yes. Okay? I think he's in the chat.
These kids.
I saw him in the chat a little earlier ago. Hi, Ray.
The three of us know drones are a drug. Okay.
Yeah.
But it is the right kind of drug for us.
It
It's the
is.
drug
It
of
really is.
activity. It's the drug of technology. And these kids, we get them involved, they're gonna blow us away as far as skill set goes in
Yeah.
no time flat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But folks, this is we were so happy to have you on the channel, Lovena. We're so
Thank you.
happy to have you on the committee. But I gotta say, and Bob will echo this, I'm so glad to have you and Ron as friends.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very
Likewise.
much.
I'm
It's
glad to
been
have met you guys. I am so glad that I'm involved in the drone committee and the drone community overall. And I am so, so glad that I decided to sign up, even though it was the last minute that I saw the sign up for the very first annual Las Vegas drone meetup.
Yep.
I
Cool.
saw that and I said, I don't care how much it costs, I'm going to go. So I am very, very happy.
Oh,
And we're
wonderful.
so glad you did. So
Good,
glad to
good,
make your
good.
acquaintance. And with
Well,
that,
listen,
Bob, I'll let you close out the show.
I'm ready to get on with the rest of my life here today. Thank you. I wanted to thank so many of you that came into the chat today. I've seen. I know Alex has been in there. Alex Escardo, Jim's droning is there. Dewey, it's midnight in Ireland. I understand that. I'm sorry. I'm thrilled that you're there. Phil. DD Fellows, Phil, thank you again. I do want to chat with you when we get time. Uncle Bill,
Jody,
yay,
we
Uncle
got
Bill,
Uncle Bill,
he's out there. Thank you again, Uncle Bill, for
Brother Valor,
everything. Steve
Ronnie,
Anderson, yep. God bless America, Captain Ray
Captain
Kelly,
Ray,
yep, yeah. Just a
Jazz,
wonderful
Charles, okay,
Charles
is there,
Galinsky,
Galinsky,
yep, cool.
okay. So a good group of people, and even more people will see it in
Uh,
the replay.
yep,
But thanks everybody, and again,
yes.
Lovena, thanks so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Lovena.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Good deal. Good deal. Keep it going. All right.
Take care, all. Okay. Peace and love.
And my wife. Yes.
Oh. Take care, all.
Hi, Audrey.
Bob, you hitting that button anytime soon? Otherwise, we're dragging. Okay. I love Bob. And folks, we're still on. Okay. But
Bob is gone.
Lovena,
Bob
we
is
are
gone.
going to close the show out. Okay. So you take care. All you got to do is hit your leave studio button there, and you'll be
Okay.
good to go. Take care,
All right.
Lovena.
Bye.
Bye.